I'll never forget the day my grandmother passed away. It was a devastating loss for our family, and I was especially close to her. She had been more than just a grandmother to me. She was a confidante, a friend, and a guiding light in my life. After her funeral, I thought I had begun to come to terms with my grief. But little did I know that the most unsettling experience of my life was just beginning. It started with a phone call. I was sitting in my darkened living room, surrounded by the faint scent of old books and the dim glow of a lone table lamp, when my phone suddenly rang. The sound was jarring, and my heart skipped a beat as I hesitated for a moment before answering it. "Hello," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. There was a pause on the other end, followed by a faint, raspy voice that sent shivers down my spine. "Hello, dear," the voice said. "It's Grandma." My blood ran cold as I froze, my mind reeling in shock. It couldn't be. My grandmother was dead. And yet, the voice on the other end of the line sounded unmistakably like hers. I tried to speak, but my voice caught in my throat. The line went dead, and I was left staring at my phone in horror. I thought it was just a cruel prank. But as the days went by, the calls continued. Each time, it was the same. My grandmother's voice, faint and distant, saying something brief and innocuous before hanging up. I began to feel like I was losing my mind. I knew it was impossible for my grandmother to be calling me. And yet, the voice was so real, so familiar. I started to dread the sound of my phone ringing, my heart sinking with each call. I tried to avoid answering it, but the calls persisted. One night, I decided to record the call, hoping to capture some evidence of the bizarre phenomenon. I set up my recorder and waited, my phone ringing a few minutes later. I answered, my voice shaking as I said, "Hello." The voice on the other end was fainter than before, but still unmistakable. "I'm cold, dear," my grandmother said. "I'm so cold." The line went dead, and I was left staring at my recorder, my mind reeling with questions. How was this possible? Was I really hearing my grandmother's voice? Or was it just some twisted product of my grief-addled mind? I played back the recording, and what I heard sent chills down my spine. The voice was my grandmother's, but it was different, too. It was slower, more labored, and it seemed to be coming from a great distance away. I realized, with a jolt of terror, that I wasn't just hearing a voice, I was hearing a message from beyond the grave. And then, it hit me. The calls weren't just random messages. They were a countdown. Each call, each message, was a step closer to something. But what? I didn't have to wait long to find out. The next call came a few nights later. And this time, the voice was different. It was weaker, more exhausted, and it seemed to be struggling to get the words out. "I'm coming home, dear," my grandmother said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm coming home." The line went dead, and I was left staring at my phone in horror. Suddenly, I heard a faint creaking sound, like the floorboards outside my room were shifting. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest, as the creaking grew louder, more insistent. And then, I saw it. The door to my room, which I had locked and barricaded, slowly began to open. I tried to scream, but my voice was trapped in my throat. The door creaked open, and a figure stood in the doorway, shrouded in darkness. I knew, in that moment, that I was face to face with something truly evil. The figure took a step closer, and I saw, with a jolt of terror, that it was my grandmother. Her eyes were black as coal, and her skin was deathly pale. She reached out a bony hand and touched my face, and I felt a chill run down my spine. "I'm home, dear," she whispered, her voice cold and menacing. And then, everything went black.